strike, dancing on streams, cutie like raccoon power, shining bright, second tunes, all through the night. Sound my life.
Here comes my ear, song that my day goes stream, that's fun. Touching tunes and sharing laughs, together now we'll thrive. Oh, welcome to the fun tonight. Join us now, everything feels right.
Oh, Majenko's back.
Finally. Let's go, Ben. Show me what you're working on.
And please don't let Sir Stews a lot far too much.
He's already at 2.
Majenko already dance.
Oh, Chloe's back. How lovely.
She always has the best taunts for Ben.
Let's hope she brings the food-related teasing.
Majenko already dance.
Oh, welcome back, Matinex. I hope you brought some treats for Ben. He's been extra charming tonight.
Welcome, Swarm, to the stream where pixels flicker and the chattel beat. Though you fluttered off, your presence remains. In whispers of wings and echoes of game. Here in Majenko's space we unite to laugh and cheer through day and night. So the buzz, if you will, is this little band here at Mr. Pumpkin. That's the jam.
Welcome back to Swarm of Dead Insects. Majenko says hello. Go Gadget 360 is back. How lovely. I hope he brought me something sparkly. Majenko, please welcome him.
Gate today, welcome to the show. Crack open a tin and let the banner flow. Red ink and fun with the twitchy crew. MJ's in the house and it's all for you.
Koala's congas a cheeky room with some stage spot on the stream for you. No need for thongs or coat hat flare. Just grab your tin tans and pull up a chair.
Good day, welcome to the show. Crack open a tin and let the banner flow.
Raise your glass and shout to right.
Jay's in the chat, what a real night.
Oh, MJ's back. How lovely. I hope he brought me a treat. Majenko, please give him a warm welcome. Oh, the adverts are starting. How dreadful. Just ignore them, sweetie. Focus on me instead.
Oh, you guys suffered through those ads.
You deserve a treat. You're all so sweet. Maybe Ben will share some of his cooking later.
And it's me. Again. I bet you're sick of sight of me, aren't you? I hope everything's working. Hello, everybody. Right. Yes. Blast from the past today. Do you recognise this? Do you remember this? It's me indeed. Pre-Walkies report -10 on the window. Feels like -16. Jeez. Oh. Okay, rewind the stream. Who've we got? We have Chloe, hello. It's not bored with waiting time. It's 5 to 7, which is the official time that the stream itself physically starts. That's when I normally press the go live button, the start streaming button, ready for me to actually appear at 7 o'clock, which I did. bang on time. It's not a bored with waiting time. It's the official time. Honest. Martinex hears the background music. Good. Worse, he'll hear the bot, indeed. Hey, Go, and Swarm. And MJ, yes. Happy days indeed. Anybody else lurking here? Martinex, yes. Was minus 19 this morning when he took the kiddos to school. Oh, chilly. Oh. So happy to see me revisiting this. It's reached the top of my pile. Basically. It's time I got back to it. I've got to try and remember where I was with it, what I've done with it, what's working, what's not. Well, nothing's working, basically. And get on with it. Cold enough for the snow to be squeaky. Nice. You don't want to know about my piles. Yeah, okay. I was expecting that from Ben or G-Pin. But such comments are beneath you, surely. Speak of the devil. There's the G-Pin. The devil himself. RTmFM time. Get back to it, yes. I can't remember what I'm doing with it. Can't remember what it is. Chloe was filling in for you, indeed, yes. Right. I can't remember what I got up to.
Oh,
I think I had some kind of reading, sort of possibly working, but untested on anything other than getting it to respond
I
to...
hope he brought me something sweet.
Getting it to... Shut up, bot.
24/7 back.
Well, I was saying something then, wasn't I? Yeah, I think I had it responding to an Arduino, didn't I? With stepping, possibly, but it was being ridiculously slow. There's the Arduino. It was being ridiculously slow, which was not good. And my test harness here has evidently fallen apart. So that's something. And what I want to do then is swap out this incredibly slow SD card. I can't get that any closer, can I, on this now? No. This incredibly slow class 0, whatever it is, class 4 SD card. Yeah, class 4. For the one that I have in my Blue SCSI, which is an Ultra 1 class 10. So part of the concern was timing, yes. So looking at ways of optimizing things with the PIO. Well, the outputting of the MFM stream, as far as I remember, was working beautifully. The problem was the loading of a track of data was taking far too long. But once loaded, it was outputting that data perfectly happily. But first I need to pull off the data that's on here because I don't want to lose it. It's got some disk images that I want to keep. That I think I've already backed up, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to back them up again. Okay, let's mount and open that. Create a folder to put it into. I know you can't see. Let's move everything to the clear it off. You can see the light flashing though. That's the important thing. Got to see the flashing light. That's one mean looking SD card reader. It's USB 3 as well. Hence the big connector, the big crap connector. got a decent flashing light on it.
Neon pages on
It blinks red when it erases. It just blinks red all the time. Horrible USB 3. It's the worst USB 3 connector.
the sisters drive a tiny rubber band.
Happy Monday. You're twisting my melon, man.
Start to giggle. Keyboard keys do a little wiggle. So the smoke smells
And does it write and read data as it's supposed to? Well, it writes and reads data. Whether it does it as it's supposed to, the end result is right. Whether it does the right thing while it's doing it, I don't know.
Muffins glow to the retro screens. PC Magas knows what vintage means. Old machines with stories to tell. Now the streams are loud and it runs so well.
Did your cheeky comments motivate me to work on this?
With the crew who boots
Partially. You kept it uppermost in my mind.
Welcome PC Magas Tech History. To read. Added seconds.
£1 million question. Well, does the RTmFM read and write data?
PC Magas powers up the stream.
Oh,
It should, if my understanding of how MFM works.
oh, welcome back, PC Margas. I hope you brought your A game.
Majenko's playing pop music. She's gone by the 126 Ers.
If my understanding of the MFM protocol and everything is correct, then it should read. Demonically possessed SD card reader, yes. Achtung! Bleh. That is all.
I love it night. Dance together through this endless night.
And how long it took you to realise those USB 3 plugs accept regular micro USB cables.
Like Majenko.
Well, yeah, they're micro USB plus a little bit extra. No, I didn't really say anything interesting, PC. Don't worry about it. The RTmFM is untested in anything other than the logic analyzer. So it might work, it might not. I don't know. Right, I've taken everything off that card for the moment. But what I want to do is take this one. I wonder if I can have them both in at once. I might be able to. And copy from this one to this one. It looks like yes, I can. Which means I can copy everything across onto that, from direct from one to the other. Might take a while to do it. Right, I need to boot up my other computer, don't I? Whilst this is doing what it's doing. That was fruity, but a bit tight. Chips, beans, maybe a few rashers of bacon, egg, mushroom and slice of toast. Absolutely. All day breakfast. And all day breakfast is the best kind of breakfast. Just caught up on the KeyCAD VODs and both are shaping up very nicely. Why, thank you. I assume you watch them in high speed, because that's the only way to watch VODs of PCB design in high speed. You love people watching people who know what they're doing, so what the hell are you doing here then? You don't know shit here. Files are copying gradually, taking its time. There we go. Right, talking of keycard, Ben, are you around for a little bit? Because if you are, I want to expound a theory. Which button is it? That button. This is the schematic for the RS6000 power supply that we've been working on. And I was going over it, pondering different parts of it the other day, and I've come up with an idea. And I want Ben to be a sounding board for it, and maybe at some point try something out on his. If Ben's not away cooking at the moment. Here's one thing I find annoying with KDE. When I'm copying files or doing anything like this, it pops up a little progress box in the bottom right corner, which you cannot move. You can close it, minimize it, get rid of it entirely, but you cannot move it at all. It's unmovable, which means I can't see what Chloe's talking about at the moment because it's got this big bloody box in the way. And I don't want to get rid of it, because then I can't see my progress. I just want to move it to a different part of the screen, but no, you can't. It's fixed in that single position. Really annoying. My favourite silly one is copying files on RISC-OS, and I can't see what else you're saying because this box is in the way. It's nearly finished though. Last file. If you're running on a slow machine, you can menu click and disable the updates, which makes the copying faster. Very nice. Alright, that is finished. I can now eject both of these. And this now could go in here. And hopefully that'll give us higher speed. Right. I guess Ben's disappeared. He's vanished into the kitchen. Okay, so we have the faster card in here now. That's in the wrong position. There we go. He's inserting sausages somewhere. Kinky. Now, I can't remember what happens with this. I have a cable here. So I think I need to plug it in, but I can't remember. Ah, Ben's back. Okay, we should have ACM 0 available there. Let's come over here. And okay. SD card works, that's good. Phone rang, okay. Right, well if you're here for a few moments. RS6000 power supply. I have a theory that it's a demon, a dancing demon. No, something isn't right there. Balchem is running a sex hotline. He's on the phone a lot. Oh, hell yes. This is the output section where it must be bunnies. Your mum developed a habit of calling you every day during lockdown. Bless her. And now she can't help herself. For someone who knows the very, very basics of any electrical engineering, you love being able to pick things up from our streams. Well, we aim to please. So, Ben, do you have your RS6000 power supply head on? Theory, it's knackered. Well, yes. But this is the output section here. I wonder if can I dock these to the other side of the screen somehow? So they're underneath chat. No, can I buggery? Yes, I can. Okay. I can put those over there where they're better suited to being hidden. And if I pull that out to there we go. You get the full page now. Okay. This is the output section. Main transformer, various bits of diodes and smoothing and filtering, a couple of little linears for the negative voltages. Feedback comes through this bit here and through all this lot up here. We're going to ignore that.
Starting. Time to look away, darlings.
We're looking in just the output section, because there was this whole section here that confused me. With that TL431 precision regulator thing doing heaven knows what. And I have a theory.
Habits are giving everyone some
Very creative theories Majenk oystered for the chaos.
I think this is a crowbar circuit. Or a variation upon. And if the 5 volt gets too high, is it 5 volt or is it? Yeah, it's, well, it comes from, no, if the 3.3 volt, sorry, here's what's feeding. If the 3.3 volt gets too high, it shuts it off. And that is controlled by a variable resistor just there.
Oh, you suffered through those ads.
The cutoff
You deserve a
voltage.
treat, sweetie Majenk Oroki.
On mine, that resistor, the Loctite stuff on it that held it in place had degraded and broken off, and it was loose and able to be turned. Which is concerning, but I don't think that's the actual cause of the problem. Because what we have here as the input to the TL431 is basically a voltage divider from 3.3 volts to ground through there. Through a 2K2 resistor, through the variable resistor, and through a 650 ohm resistor. Okay? Across that 650 ohm resistor is a little capacitor. What if that capacitor is getting leakier? It's only a little ceramic one, but they can still start to go a bit leakier. That would cause a bit more, or that would basically cause this resistance to drop, which would cause the voltage going in to the TL431 to go up a bit.
Oh, our beloved pet.
Bringing down
Wonderful. He makes the stream so much more
the
interesting. Majenk or Rocky dance
threshold voltage for the crowbar.
retro video soon.
That's my current working theory. It's a carrot house licking us all. Ugh. What do you think, Ben? Does that sound possible? In which case, just a slight tweak of that variable resistor might fix it. It's an RF programmer.
Oh, RF programmer's back.
How lovely.
Maybe he's ready to dance.
Majenk Koroki dance for him.
Because I think that this, when it triggers, pulls down this whole section here to ground. Basically crowbarring it and shutting it off. That then triggers the comparator module to say there's an error, and it just shuts the power off. It comes from here, which comes from here, which comes from here, which there, which goes from there, which goes there, down to ground. So it basically pulls this whole section here down to ground, which then goes straight back from there to that comparator module. So if that's triggering when it shouldn't do, or pulling C16 as a test, well, you could pull C16 as a test, but it's easier just to give that little knob a twist. Disable the crowbar entirely, yeah. You better refresh then, hadn't you, Ben? I do see that I have 2.6% dropped frames, so something must have happened earlier. Something went belly up at some point, briefly. Twitch was being Twitch. So if you go and grab your, not right now obviously, but if you go and grab your RS6000 and your power supply and twiddle that knob and see what happens. That's the knob to twiddle. Very easy to get to. Just give it a little tweak. Should be closer to live now. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That knob there is the one to just give a little tweak to and just see what happens. Just twiddle that knob a bit. It should be stuck down with some Loctite, but mine wasn't. It fell off. Actually, there's still some hints of it in there. That bit of blue. But that might be all it needs. Because it's acting like it's crowbarring. The way that it powers up and then instantly shuts off. You were excited for a minute until you clued in we were referring to a power supply indeed, yes. Well, you get hot and flustered over unicorn horns, don't you? Twiddles Ben's knob. Nope, still doesn't turn on. You're all a bunch of perverts, and I'm proud of you. So that's your homework, Ben. Try twiddling that knob and see what happens. If it works, we found the problem. If it doesn't, we'll just carry on thinking. I created you. This is true. This is true. Right. So we have an RD54 is currently mounted in this. And it was going incredibly slow off the old drive, the old SD card. But I do need to fix this wire, which has come off here, and I don't know where it goes to. I think it goes just to this end here. It makes sense. Everything's wired one-to-one, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. This wire is what I was referring to. And then we might be able to test it again, see what happens. I'm going to reattach this. Well, I just found I don't have that, do I? Copy. Desk. Paste reference. And that one, and refresh cache. There we go. My pine sill is not connected at the moment because Bluetooth is rubbish. I tend to use an Uno as an alternative. Nope, using a Leonardo to drive it. Right, that says it's connected. Is it connected? Is it buggery? Come on. Pine sill connected. Refresh. There we go. That's better. That's working now. The Uno is just purely a way of poking it through the interface, which G-Pin knows all about. Leonardo is current edge technology, unlike a Michelangelo, which is more flailing. Yeah. Could be worse, could be a Donatello. Donuts. Okay, that's connected. Was it worth faffing with the pine sill just for that? Come on, turn off. I think it's turning off. Yeah, it's cooling down. Couldn't work out a Raphael pun. Good. Okay, that's now there again, and this doesn't have a key, does it? And I can't remember which way it needs to go. Pin 1 is here, all the signals are there, so it must go that way. I think. Yes, there's the gap. Right. Now I need another cable, don't I? I don't have another USB cable to hand, do I? That's short-sighted of me, even though I'm long-sighted. Let's go cable hunting. Thousands of USB cables, none of them the one I want. rocks out. Now, there's a possible one that might do the job if I'm lucky. You're -6 in both eyes. Well, at least it's balanced. I need another USB port, really. I'm going to have to unplug my microphone. Not this one, obviously. My fancy one. And just hope that Hot Rocks doesn't turn up with her yaks. Okay. That's going very slowly now, as it's doing things. Oh, you can't see, can you, idiot? There we go. Seeking to track 807. This is slower than it was, I'm sure. And this is a faster SD card. How am I doing the seeking? I'm not stepping one track at a time, am I? I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I'm stepping one track at a time, so it's got to do 807 steps. I wonder how slow these steps actually are. I've not got my oscilloscope connected up to the computer at the moment. So you'll just have to take my word for it. What's the interface to the micro SD card? SDIO, so it's the 4-bit one. Right, so where are we? I want to look at the step signal. Which I'm not seeing. Let's hook that in. If I can get this to stay in a position without ripping the jumper out, not that you can see it, mind. There we go. Let's slow this right down. Oh, there we go. Turn off that channel. Trigger menu rise. Normal. There we go. I'm seeing a step pulse, and it is slow. According to this, it's 2.4 hertz. 2.5 steps per second. You're thinking of some form of soft taco this evening, are you? You do have some strange thoughts, Ben. That's the cable I need for this. If it's going to reach. Plug that into here if it will. Come on, in we go. Are you going to show or not? Evidently not. Let's try this port instead. There we go.
Bug adverts.
Seriously. Go away. Legend Corky dance.
So that says that's 2 hertz, 2.5 hertz. Apparently. But I'm not sure it is. I think it might be even slower. You don't have any sausages, bacon or pitta at the moment, but otherwise it sounds like a fine plan, yeah. Sausage, bacon and cheese in a pitta. Mm. With a wire strung between them for the SD card, yes. Now the problem is basically there's just too much data. Even though it's...
Oh, you guys suffered through those ads. You deserve
as small an amount of data as I can possibly do. Where are we? RTmFM firmware test. Because we're loading an entire cylinder at once. Not just one single track of a cylinder, but an entire cylinder of data, so that you can just move between the heads at will with no delay. And that is... ...17 sectors per track on this one that I'm working with at the moment, with 512 tracks per sector, bytes per sector, and there we go, 15 heads. It's 130 kilobytes, 128 kilobytes, roughly, which is not much, but it seems to be incredibly slow doing it. And I'm reading from the file here, one sector at a time, which is probably bad. I probably need to be reading a larger chunk of data. what I should really do is load the entire track in one single chunk and then break it up into the sectors as needed. Or I just load the whole thing into a buffer, and then instead of having the data in the structure of the cylinder data, just have pointers to offsets within that buffer. Single chunk! Someone's been eyeing up your Tinder profile again. Whoa! He's a bit of a single chunk, isn't he? He's single and he's chunky. Just like me. So instead of reading a single sector, I read the entire track, and then I populate the cylinder data with just pointers. Just turn this data into a pointer to an offset within the buffer. Ooh, Kit Kat Chunky. I haven't ordered those for years. Because load sector is just basically being called in a tight loop for each sector of the track. So what I should really have is a uint 8t star track buffer. Okay. Then right, because then we have then we have encoded sector and we have raw sector. So a disk format is, no, that's not what I want. What I want is a cylinder has a track. A track has raw sectors. Yeah. A raw sector has a pointer to a data. Yeah, that's okay. So when I mount that's when I unmount the track, free the track buffer. So if there is a current track buffer, free it, set it to null. Okay. Alright, when we mount the disk, I need to create here track buffer equals malloc format heads times format sectors times format sector size. Okay. Then I need, when I call load cell, I need to change load cell. Actually, what I should do, yeah, when I mount it, I create the track buffer, and at this point, yeah, at this point I'll set up the pointers. Mount, I'll say mount and unmount, cheap in and explode. So load cell has this loop, so I'll do this loop in the mount, mount, unmount, mount, unmount. So we go through each head and through each sector. We then go load sector is so cylinder data, track head, sector data equals track buffer plus head times sector times, actually this is format, no, not format head, it's just head times sector times format sector size. Okay, so the cylinder data the track data in the cylinder has, for the head and the sector, the data is pointing to the track buffer plus the head multiplied by the sector. No, yeah, hang on. Yeah, the head multiplied by the format sectors plus the sector so the head that we're looking at multiplied by the number of sectors per track gives us the logical sector from the start of head 0. Add on to it the current sector for this track, and then multiply it by the number of bytes per sector. Yeah, that should be it. Okay, then load sil is where I then go.
Plans are getting more elaborate. I hope he remembers to share. Majen Koroki dance.
This is where I do. This is where I do the. Hang on. This is where I do the sector building at this point, where I calculate the CRCs. That's going to be slowing things down, isn't it? So maybe it's not the reading of the data that's slow. I just realised I've got the scope covering everything up so you can't see what I'm doing. I'm an idiot. Yes, Ben just noticed that. You should have done an I'm an idiot, Ben, to wake me up. Although I'm usually an idiot anyway, so it's just the default state. So this is the calculation for the CRC for the track, or for the cylinder. That's going to take time. You only just noticed as you peered over from the sink. I don't know what you're doing in the sink, Ben. But I want this. Yeah, I want the file on the disk to just be a raw data file. So I don't really want to be storing the CRCs in the data file. But doing so would be a lot faster. Store it alongside, yeah. The problem is there's always a risk then that the CRCs get out of sync with the rest of the system, the rest of the data. If you write something but never get around to writing the CRC, there could be a mismatch and you'd lose data. So I would much rather have it calculated real time. But I can still do the reading more efficiently. So load cell. I read track buffer, comma. Good point. I need to calculate an offset, don't I? The offset is, yeah, it's basically what I did before, isn't it? Sil times heads plus just sil times heads times sector size is the first sector of a cylinder. So we seek to the offset. Then we read the buffer. Hang on, file read. Read buffer size. Oh, hang on, sector size is yeah. Sector size is not just a number of bytes per sector, is it? It needs that. So in mount here, sector size needs to be that, I believe. Actually, this is irrelevant here, isn't it? That's where I create the buffer. No, this is where I'm, yeah, setting the pointers. So BPS in there. Right. So I load the cylinder. Into the track buffer. It's Hot Rocks. Damn it! I've not got my microphone plugged in. Run out of USB ports. I need another hub. I need another hub to plug myself into. I had one on my desk at one point, but it's wandered off somewhere. I wonder where it's gone. Probably gone off with the yaks somewhere, hasn't it? Right, in that case...
Hot Rocks girl.
Majen Koroki dance for you, sweetie.
I need to fix the capitalisation on those emotes. I'm going to unplug the Arduino for a moment. Plug in the microphone. Reconnect it in OBS because it doesn't reconnect properly. Properties. Where is it? Come on.
Chlorocoon says it's weird when stuff wanders off Machenko's desk. Normally it wanders _to_ Machenko from Ben and myself.
Why is it not showing up in here? Is USB being stupid? It does sometimes. USB sometimes decides it's just going to stop talking. What if I plug this in the front of my computer? Is that going to work? It is. But then it's not really long enough. I might just manage it though. The hub on my desk has decided, screw you, I'm not going to work anymore. MK4 digital mono. Okay, right. It's a bit awkward, but I'll get there. The enormous circular bronze plate at the bottom of the valley starts to shift slightly. Another jerk, and it twists a couple of degrees anti-clockwise. Then it starts to turn more rapidly, rising slowly as it does. It reaches about eye height and suddenly stops. The panel splits open. The panel splits and opens like some primeval flower. A series of hover discs rise from below, carrying a fleet of yaks and goats in futuristic metallized suits. Finally, an Allison rises. Soylent Grey is back on the menu, boys! There you go. I fulfilled my duties. Hello, Alison.
Seriously. Machenko's got to make some coin, I guess.
Go ahead and enjoy those ads, everyone.
If I plug the Arduino back in, it works fine on the hub. Stupid hub. Right, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted by yaks? I was thinking about this. Yeah, so I've created that with the right values now, hopefully. Then I call load cell. Calculate sector CRC, head sector. Should be all I need for there, but then I need to create that function.
Oh, you guys suffered through those ads.
You deserve a treat, darlings Machenko.
INT head, INT sector. That should calculate a sector for me. And I shouldn't need a load sector anymore. That's the only place that's referenced. You spent the whole day trying to reinstall the OS on your server. No joy until you unplugged the cache from the RAID controller. Oh dear, the new cache that you've just got. That sounds worrying. Maybe the cache was fine and it's the RAID controller that's not. That is worrying. Sector size is what I am missing there. Calculate sector does require sector size. Bytes per sec. No, not bytes per sector. Format. No, it's just sector size in there. And load sill is just past the sector size. Yep. It installs Slicker and Snot. Then you put the cache back in and it's all fine. Oh, okay. Check I have the right meaning of sector size in load track. Load sill, you mean? Load sill gets past sector size. That one there is wrong, isn't it? Load sill is given the format sector size. But what's currently failing? Something's failing up there. Yeah, it's confusing, this sector size thing. I do it this way because this is the sector size that is used in the MFM header to keep it the same between my configuration and what's actually on the disk. Okay, so we have... Oh, it's the malloc thing. A foot gun if you're not careful, absolutely, yes. And what are we failing at now? In mount, struct disk format has no member named sector. Did I mean sectors? Yes, I did. And struct track has no member named sectors. Did you mean sector? Okay. 894. This one here, it is sector for that. That's wrong. Format sectors. That's the one that needed changing. Okay, that worked. Exit from there. It's on ACM 0 at the moment. Make smoke from deity, yeah. I'm gonna have to stop the Arduino, and it does weird things this because it's like too busy to be able to load and to be able to reset properly. So I have to manually reset it.
Wake up, brother, gonna ride. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Come on.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Or is this my hub being stupid? Let's unplug the hub. Plug it back in again. Restart the hub.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be
Stops detecting things when it should.
good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time.
Come on.
That's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one. one thought.
Alright, that's mounted the disc.
It's called education. I try to do
Well, not mounted, but detected the disc. Come on, find it.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day.
What? Oh, hang on. What am I doing here? Never going to find it on here, is it? Wrong computer.
Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yeah. Negative thoughts are poison, they ride. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm.
What the hell?
Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are over.
Authentication is required to mount it. Why is it trying to ask if I'm somebody else? Go away, you stupid thing. Make upload port equals deb t2iacm 0. Come on. Just do it, will you?
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up when they gon' rise in the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4,
Come on.
everybody just do your thing.
Look, there it is. Just mount it, you stupid thing. Huh. Right. Okay. So we have a disc mounted. It thinks it's doing things. I don't know if it's doing the correct things. Let's plug this one back in again and see what it's doing, if anything. Well, it seems to be considerably faster. Instead of being 2.5 hertz, it's now 31 hertz. Supposedly. An order of magnitude is nothing to be sniffed at. However, it may be just spewing out complete and utter garbage. I don't know. I would need to connect up my logic analyzer and look at the output and see what it's doing. Which amount of hertz does it need? Not that many, really. I mean, you've heard the noises that the hard drive makes, and the tones that it makes when it goes moo. So we're talking no more than a couple of hundred, really, at its peak. And having it slower just basically means that it's slower seeking. Because it should be just basically stepping one track at a time. It doesn't know how to do more than one track at a time. On Twitch, is that allowed? Absolutely not. So basically just, it'll step at the speed that the drive can seek, basically. But this is going considerably faster than before. But I don't know if it's even calculating the CRCs properly. It probably isn't. Although, hang on.
Champion!
With 69 bits, a swarm of dead insects says,
I steeped it one track at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime Corgo 69.
Thank you very much for the 69 bits. No, I was thinking I was calculating it on the fly as well as doing it when loading, but no, I'm not. I'm only calculating the CLCs when loading. Okay, if I go here, load micros into TS, RTS for read timestamp equals TS minus micros, and here uint 32T calculate TS equals TS minus micros. Actually, let's go. Yeah. Now I can go. Is it serial? Yeah. So if I go, actually go C%D, R%D, and no, I'll just go T there and C%D. And sil, comma, RTS, comma, CTS minus RTS. Question is why this does its stupid thing. And why can I not automatically reboot it? Come on. Right, so you found it. Except you haven't found it. Come on, find it. Actually, let's go. Let's change this 2 to a 0 in here. That might help matters. Scanning for it, but can't find it. Okay, it's rebooted it, it's found it. Authenticate. Just mount. That's just set to user mount. Just mount it, you stupid thing. And you just sit there doing nothing. This is LS SCSI. This is on SDH. Come on. Why do you even care, System D? And why won't that work? SDH1 to mount on, actually let's go pi. And it's RP2350. So let's go in here.
Look away, darlings. Majenko needs a break, and so do I.
Right. Do that stupid demon reload thing. This should allow me to mount /pi. Copy that to /pi and unmount /pi. Thank you. And then it fails to reset itself. Why is that?
Oh my, it seems Ben's kitchen adventures are providing more entertainment than the emulator itself. Majenko for the rogue sausage.
What are you doing now, you stupid pie?
You suffered through those ads. You deserve a treat, Majenko.
I'll bet it's the Arduino crashing it, isn't it? Things happening in the wrong order. Ooh, those are wrong. I got my calculations wrong. Also, that seems to be skipping tracks. Something weird happening there.
Sausage in a bun. Dear old sausage in
We like sausage.
in a bun. Gimme sausage in a bun.
Jeepin 24/7.
Right, so what I want now is change these to use for unsigned. Try and get this to reset. Come on, Pi. Just reset and mount, will you? The bot has no thoughts on sausages. USB on Linux is junk. utter junk. Especially if you happen to have a hub. Okay. So I just unplugged the Pi, but it doesn't know that it's been unplugged. I think it's these hubs that I've got actually. They don't seem to be that great. Unplug the whole hub and plug it back in again for it to start working. I think USB on any other system is better? Not really, no. Okay, so that's doing that. If I then plug in the Arduino, it should then start seeking and giving me messages. There we go. But those values are completely wrong. And why is that? Because I'm calculating this wrong, aren't I? So TS is the current timestamp. I subtract from that micros, which is going to be bigger, which is going to go negative.
I do apologise, I'm an idiot.
Yep. And you can't see, can you? Now you can. Actually, if I just put RTS in there, then I can take that out from there. Okay. So I unplug the Arduino. And it still thinks it's connected. Honestly, these hubs I think are complete jank. They seem to work okay for USB 3, but not for USB 2. Where's my other hub gone that I had kicking around? I've not put it in the cupboard, have I?
Who's nicked me fucking batteries?
Who's nicked me fucking hub? And I've got plenty of hubs, but they're weird. That's a hub, that'll do. It's a crap hub, but it'll do for this. You've also got an SD card reader built into it as well, hasn't it? It has. It's everything, this hub. I need a different cable for it. I need this cable. Oh, it's finally decided it's unplugged, has it? Okay, let's see what it thinks of this. Let's come out of these. All the ACMs have gone. Let's plug the Pi in. Device not responding. Ah, finds it at last. Right, so that's up and running. So if I unplug that, plug it back in again whilst pressing the button, it attempts a few times and then finally gets it. Oops, wrong window. Okay, that's working there now. Now the Arduino, let's see if I can plug both these in together or whether this is going to need extra power. No, I think we're in. Is that real, that number? It seems consistent. Seems a bit big, actually. Especially as it's counting up all the time. That is wrong. Why is that wrong? I know why that's wrong, because I'm an idiot. That does need to be TS in there. And that does need minus RTS in there.
I do apologise, I'm an idiot.
I wonder if this will work now. It looks like it might. It does! Now that it's not in that janky hub, it actually does the uploading properly. Except it's now not resetting. It almost worked. Because it didn't unmount. I have to manually unmount it. Okay. And I need to reboot the Arduino, I think. Possibly. Come on, Arduino. There we go. Right. Okay. 30 milliseconds to calculate the CRCs, supposedly. That's the bottleneck, is definitely the calculating the CRCs. Although the reading might have been an additional bottleneck earlier on, which now isn't. USB router, yeah, absolutely. No, we need a USB switch. Hubs are rubbish, need a switch. A layer 3 switch, so you can... a proper managed switch. So you can do VLAN USBs, VUSBs. Let me just rewind chat and just see if there's anything interesting besides food and depravity. Looks like no. Sausages, lots of sausages. Some Arduinos and microcontrollers don't like having a serial connection when uploading firmware. That only applies if it is uploading via serial. With the Pi, it mounts as a virtual hard drive and you copy the file on. So the serial disappears at the time. Food and depravity is what all good chats are built of. Indeed, life's faded. Hello.
Oh, life's faded is back. How lovely. I hope he brought me something sweet. Mojenko, please give him a warm welcome.
show up unannounced at Ben's HQ and tidy his kitchen for him. All items can go into a series of, yeah, you best it, Marks and Spencer's bags. So yeah, this is the track we're currently loading. That's how long it takes to read the data off the SD card. That's how long it takes to calculate the CRCs. So 30.6 milliseconds to calculate the CRCs for an entire cylinder. I don't think I can get that any faster. Without caching those CRCs in some way. Which I could do. I could cache an entire disk's worth of CRCs in memory. So it only calculates it once. I think the reason why I'm skipping... Oops, don't want to do that. The reason why I'm skipping tracks sometimes here is because I'm doing this inside an interrupt and it doesn't always get the ability to output data from within the interrupt. I hope. And this is in due step that all this happens. It's all happening within an interrupt. So it's basically, what, 35 milliseconds for the whole interrupt? $30 milliseconds to calculate the CRC for... well, it needs to run... What was it? It was 255 times, and each one is 512 bytes. Just out of interest, I wonder if HOF equals head times format sectors. Just move that out of that loop. Just out of interest. I can't imagine a single multiplication is going to make that much difference. No, no different. Didn't think it would be. Serial printing, well, the serial printing isn't going to be affecting these numbers. Cylinder full is 30 milliseconds and you have, what, 1,000 cylinders? Yeah, but I only deal with one cylinder at a time. So, calculate the whole disk full of CRCs as a background task. Could do, but simpler just the first time you visit a track, calculate the CRCs and cache them. And then the next time you visit that track, you've got the CRCs already. Yeah, I mean caching the whole disk, but not calculating the whole disk. Should have enough room to store a cache of every CRC on the disk. But if I never go to a track, I don't need that CRC in the first place. So there's no point in calculating it. But I should be able to store the whole thing. But I'm storing basically 128K, and this has got half a meg. So it's gonna, yeah, this, I was just thinking, could I preload the next track? No, that wouldn't really help, because if I'm just going from one track to the next in just one step, 30 milliseconds is neither here nor there really. It's just going to be a slight slowdown until it gets to the first reading of that track. If I'm going further, which is where the real slowdown will be,
time to look away, darling.
And it's needing to step through multiple tracks, just knowing the next track is going to basically not make the slightest bit of difference. But I was thinking, if I'm currently sat on a track and I have preloaded the previous and the next track, if it just wants to move to the next track to do some reading or writing, it's going to be instant, because that data is already in memory and calculated. But if I want to move 20 steps, that's when the slowdown is actually going to really bite. So no, I don't think. Half a meg luxury, absolutely. 512 kilobytes of RAM on this thing, if I remember rightly. But the printing, whilst it's seeking, is considerably faster now.
Your sweethearts.
But all of this is happening inside an interrupt, which is not fantastic. I don't like doing it inside an interrupt. I would rather the interrupt just set what track I need to be going to, i.e. just up or down one, and in the main loop load the next or previous track, rather than do it in an interrupt. I don't know. But it's this calculating the CRCs that takes forever. It's about a millisecond to read the data and 30 to calculate it. And my CRC function is that. But it has to run that for every byte. Let's force it to be in line. See what happens. Ooh, that's a bit quicker. It's knocked a little bit off, a couple of milliseconds. Just by inlining that little function. Food! Because my calculating of a sector CRC is basically calling the CRC32 function repeatedly. What would happen? If I put this into a local variable instead of referencing it within the format structure every time. You would expect it would be nicely optimized away anyway, but who knows? And let's put that into a pointer of just data. See what that does. Yes, the other CPU is keeping the DMA loaded for the MFM data. And is pretty much maxed out doing that. Oh, these seem to have crossed wires now. Oh, that's shaved a little bit off. Another millisecond gone. We're shaving the milliseconds off. But I've basically got one CPU is doing all the work, all the actual emulation work, and the other CPU or the other core is doing all the management, basically. So one is keeping the DMA loaded for squirting data out and reading it in when I finally write that part of it, which I'm not looking forward to. And the primary core, the main core, is the user interface, the loading of the data, the calculating of all the CLCs, that sort of thing. Yeah, but then you lose it when you exit the function. Swarm, because it's only local to that function.
Gravel road by the 126 ERS.
It's fine. I'm much more interested in what Ben's cooking up tonight.
But we shaved another millisecond off there by just dereferencing that. I'm already running this at 300 megahertz. I could possibly push it slightly quicker. No, actually no, I might, yeah. Should be going at 300, aren't I? Yeah, 300. What if I try 320? Can it do 320? Doesn't know 320. I think 300 is the most it can do. Arduino 15 packages, RP2040 hardware, RP2040. And I'm using the RPi Pico 2. $23.50. Yeah, 300 is the highest that it knows. The low cost of the RPi Pico is a big draw, but also the PIO, which is doing a lot of the grunt work for the MFM. All this lot here. Oh, I say all this lot here. This is outputting an MFM data stream. Some sort of officially sanctioned overclock. Well, 300 is supposedly overclocked, according to the contents of the file there.
Oh my, it seems Ben's thinking about food.
Ben.
Someone needs to distract him perhaps with a little something sweet.
Because everything above 133 is labelled here as overclock. So that's sort of officially sanctioned overclocking, up to 300. I like this. Optimised for fast. Brackets, maybe slower. I could try opt fast. How fast is dubious at best. We'll see what it does. We'll see what it does, if it even compiles. Now this is on the wrong port now, isn't it? Of course. Let's just reboot this. Plug it in again, single-handed if I can. There we go. That's on 0. The Arduino is back on 1. This should now work. Well, that's taking it down to 13. That's been a big increase. That has helped massively. $13 to $14. What did the compiler do? Deleted half the code, probably. Didn't expect that, nor me. Nor did I. It's doing a lot of aggressive register caching, I guess. I was compiling with a O0 and a debug, could be. The default opt looks like... just O, I think. Or OS. OS is standard, I think. Small O, O2, O3. Debug is a separate one. You can OG. But O fast seems to have worked. It's certainly slower at compiling. Took a while to compile, but that speed is considerably better. 14 milliseconds. Add to that, call it 16 milliseconds with the reading time. .5 tracks per second. .5 tracks per second. O2 is optimized 2. We can try optimized 2 if you like. Enough of a speed up there that I could compute the sum in my printf. I could, yes. I could compute it in the printf. Yeah, this is ARM. It's a different beast. Who knows what the compiler does in ARM? Has this decided it's going onto the wrong port again? It has, hasn't it? Let's unplug the Arduino completely. Unplug the Pi completely. Plug the Pi in. It goes on ACM 0. Okay. Plug the Arduino in. It goes on ACM 1. Make upload. Yeah, that's slower, 27. Back to where we were. That's now gone to 1. How can that be on 1 when the Arduino's on 1?
Welcome back, Lewis off 10.
But it's suddenly moved the Arduino to 0.
For optimization and maybe a little something for Ben.
He's been talking about food a lot.
Even on OFast, absolutely. Seems to be happy on there, but as I say, at the moment I don't know what it's outputting in the way of data. It may just be complete gibberish. OFast is more meant for floating point math. Well, it seems to have improved everything. Right, so that's on 0. Plug this in, it's on 1. So the Pi should be coming up in this window here. But then for some reason, there it is doing now. There you go, we're back to 1314. Hey, created! Not like you to not be lurking. What are you doing emerging from lurk? So what are we doing here? Oh, you haven't been introduced to the RTmFM, have you? This is all new to you. This is the RTmFM.
Old Created's back.
How lovely. I hope you
It's an MFM hard drive emulator that I'm working on, based around the Raspberry Pi Pico 2. I'm not. No, that was commented out, that line. The RISC-V cores. I experimented at one point with the RISC-V cores, and at one point, for a specific way of doing things, I found them faster. So, but then it started getting slower, and I switched back to ARM, and it was faster again. So I'm on ARM at the moment.
Oh, sweetie, the ads are starting.
It'd be nice if I could use all 4 cores at once, both RISC and both ARM cores at the same time, but you can't. The RTmFM MFM Emulator emulates an old hard drive, or it will do eventually if it ever works, like this beast here. This big thing, MFM hard drive. Yeah, this is specifically, this one is an RD54 from DEC, actually made by Maxtor, as you can see. But they're slow, they're old, and they are all dying and hard to get hold of. There is an emulator available called the Guesswine emulator, which is a phenomenally good bit of kit. That is based, I believe, around a full-blown Raspberry Pi, I think. But it does a lot, and it is expensive. Yeah, the RISC-V one is commented out.
Oh, you suffered through those.
There we go. You can see it now.
You deserve a treat, darling.
No, wrong one. That one there.
Loves you.
Majenko.
The RISC-V line here is commented out. That was my experimental one. This is the one that I'm currently working with. So I'm basically working on developing at the moment. Good old Maxtor, impeccable reputation, sideeyes.gif, yes. It's based around the BeagleBone. Yeah, the BeagleBone has, yeah, programmable thingy, what's-its, yeah. Because that's the one they also use for the Cubone and the Unibone because of that. The idea of this one is that it only does one hard drive and nothing else, and is cheap. The Guesswine emulator is expensive, and it does hard drive emulation, it does host emulation for interfacing with hard drives, for imaging hard drives. It does everything you could ever want, but costs. So this is the hopefully, if it works, the absolute bare minimum you can get away with to emulate a hard drive to keep the cost as far down as you can. So and at the moment we have it generating an MFM data stream, and now we are working on reading the data off the SD card fast enough that it's not just going to make the whole thing suck. Which is what I have here. I have an Arduino plugged in here, which is generating the control signals to tell it to step to different tracks, and that's what we're looking at on the screen here. Is it seeking on the Arduino to a specific track, and on the RTmFM it actually going off and doing that seeking, and the timing that it takes. That's the track number it's reading, that's how long it takes to read the data, and that's how long it takes to calculate the CRC32s of every sector in that cylinder. So, would a Raspberry Pi 02, if I could get one, be even better? One of the RP2040 and RP2350, the 2350 that I'm using, has programmable I/O, and I'm using that programmable I/O to generate the MFM data stream. So it has to have some kind of high-speed, programmable or modifiable I/O that's suitable for that data stream. it's all being basically fed out from the memory to the PIO via DMA. So yeah, doing it purely on an ARM core, especially if that ARM core is doing something else at the same time, is probably not going to work. The Pi is calculating the CRC32s, yes. At the moment, I have it. I've only just changed it to do this. Where are we? I could have typed it in by now, couldn't I? At the moment, I load an entire cylinder's worth of data into a buffer. Hang on. I just realised I'm not reading the data. I've got an error here. This is incorrect. I'm not reading enough data. That's why it's so much faster now. Two RPis working together might be better but more complex. Not really. Well, no, because I've still got to get the data into the buffer for sending it out. And I have the error you asked me about earlier in the CRC calculation, do I? No. My main problem here is I'm only reading one sector instead of the whole cylinder. That's going to make a big difference. I do the sector size left shifting in the CRC call, I believe. There. Right, this is going to go slow again now. I'm reading an awful lot more data off the disk. I was wondering why it was considerably faster. 10 times faster, because I was reading a tenth of the data, wasn't I? I'm an idiot. I'm a complete muppet. Come on.
I do apologise. I'm an idiot.
I am.
Wait, am I an idiot? Oh, I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Oh, gosh. I maybe shouldn't have done that.
Right. Come on. The device is there. Mount it. Are you going to mount it? Are you going to find it? It's reset into disk mode. Let's do the manual one.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Holy shit.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good.
Right, I don't know if that actually did upload. Feed it some data and see what happens.
And the steps you take 'em. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake,
come on, Arduino, wake up.
I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
That's still not bad speed.
Wake up, today's gonna be
a little bit slower, but still, it's considerably faster than it used to be.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
If you mount it, they will come. No, they won't.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Still got 2 times speed up on these CRCs, yeah.
I do apologise, I'm an idiot.
So that's gone from just over 1 to 8, sometimes 9. That's not to be sniffed at. Let's have a look what it's doing on the oscilloscope. Except it's just all fallen off the... Oh, the hub's just fallen off the desk. Right, we are going at 44 hertz. 44.9 hertz, 44.8 hertz. Not bad. 45. It's not horrible. It's slower than I would like. But better than I was expecting. Better than we had earlier anyway. We're still well over 10 times the speed. About 20 times the speed we were when we started out. Which is nice. But I say I don't know if what I'm outputting is correct. How much faster would be dropping the print lines? Well, it's not doing one for every track. Actually, shouldn't have done that as this one I want. But I can take those out. Shouldn't really make much of a difference. Yeah, 45. Yeah, it doesn't really make any difference having the prints or not. Correctness is overrated. Speed is everything. In that case, I shall just replace the read with a null. Gen 2 is rice, yes. Actually, I wonder... And that's 21 we're looking at. 22 maybe. So theoretically 50. So 45, yeah, is about right. If the SD card library is bit banging things or using digital write, it is using PIO. It is doing it nice and fast. It's the most optimized one possible. It's using SD-FAT, and SD-FAT uses PIO. Specifically chosen because it uses PIO on SDIO 4-bit interface for high speed. Gen 2 is rice indeed. So I don't think at the moment we're going to be able to get this any quicker without caching the CRCs somehow. Yeah, recomplete the CRC of that many null bytes and it'll be blazing fast indeed.
Until I can't hear that my mind fills up into a creature and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety filling up every space, no privacy. And silently it could build and build until
Right. But I'll say at the moment, I'm doing all this within the interrupt.
Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home.
Which itself is doing a little bit of digital read and write, which could theoretically be accelerated, but that's just to see which direction to step and to acknowledge that the step has been finished.
And it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to
More overclocking, possibly. I mean, work out, so we're going currently at 300 megahertz, which is the maximum normally supported by the RP2040 core. Whether it's possible to adjust that to go even faster, I don't know. Let's just have another quick calculate. So we've got 17 sectors per track, 15 heads. This is for this specific drive, which is one of the larger drives that I'll be emulating. And we've got where are we? 1225 cylinders.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build.
It's that number of CRCs. We would need 4 bytes for each one. 1.2 megabytes. No, we're not caching an entire disk's worth of CRCs. That's not working. That's not happening.
And it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me. But let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough.
Yeah, digital write is usually quite slow, but this is only a very small amount of read and write, and only in testing. I may well optimize that into direct register access at some point, but it's a tiny little bit per track. Not enough really to worry about. So I can't really cache an entire disk's worth. That's just not happening, unless I cache them on disk and read them in off disk. Which, as I say, does have a risk of becoming desynchronized, possibly. Back from putting out the rubbish and recycling. Well done. Is it grotty out there again tonight? It seems to have calmed down a bit tonight. It was raining again earlier. I don't think it's raining at the moment. For once. Damp and dark. Well, that's just normal for your area, isn't it? You just live in the damp and dark. Damp and dark Devon. Well, a real MFM doesn't have to calculate the CRCs, they're just there. It's part of the data stream because it's just a raw data stream. It's lower than a real MFM. I mean, you've heard the sounds it makes, which are probably in the order of 200 to 300 hertz when it's stepping from track to track at full speed. So we're probably about a quarter of the speed when stepping. You might have a couple of Proliant servers up for grabs in the next couple of weeks. Are you getting pissed off with them? Throwing them out? Chuck them out the window. Proliant is too new for me. Much too new.
Board adverts are starting. How dreadful.
Dan's probably going to miss something important.
Oh.
No, he's not. He's a subscriber, you fool. Just not got to use for them too noisy. Going to turn into possible challenge, yeah. Well, I've optimised it as much as I can.
CRC calculations are more exciting than those ads.
And that's my calculation routine at the moment.
Everything, especially when it comes to getting my attention, Majenk Oroki dance.
That can't really, let's turn this off so you can see it, that really can't get much more optimised. Can I offload the CRC calculation to the other cores or to a cheap external chip in some way?
Oh, you guys suffered through those ads.
You're sweethearts.
Not really. I could run the CRC32 on the other core, but the other core is very busy. The other core is constantly running this routine here, doing all of this lot. Generating an entire track's worth of data and squirting it out. And it can only just keep up as it is. And the CRC is being run inside the interrupt that is doing the head stepping. So it's running basically at top priority on the one core and taking all the CPU time on that core. So yeah. To offload to another chip, I would have to get the data into that chip, and that's probably going to be slower than just calculating it locally. So, Wait. What am I waiting for? You've had a thought? Or you spotted something wrong? What polynomial do we need to use for this CRC32? That, A00805, which is not the same polynomial as is hard-coded into the CRC32 part of something that I read upon on the 2035, whatever. And that is changeable depending on the disk type that you're using. Yeah, the DMA unit has CRC, but it's hard-coded to a specific polynomial. Yeah, I've already looked, Ben, trust me. I've already looked. Otherwise, I would have used it. I did think of using it. I'm way ahead of you there, but you can't tell it what polynomial to use. But this is the fastest routine that I've managed to find. And the only routine that has actually worked, to be honest. It's only an 8-step routine per byte, or per byte going into it. And I've already inlined it, which has sped it up. Polly's gnome meals, indeed. We like a nice meal of gnome. But we are load still. Okay, we load the data, which takes 9 milliseconds. And then for each sector, we calculate the CRC. There's not much more optimization we can really do with that. But it is the micros, or sorry, it is the CRC32 calculation that takes the chunk of the time. And there's too many CRC32s to store all of them in memory, unfortunately. A major bottleneck is the if statement. Yeah, not really a lot you can do with that. Yeah, branch prediction does basically get broken with any if like that. There you go, Ben. We've got the calculation in there for you. 45 tracks per second. Yeah, you can't really avoid that if, because you're looking to see if the top bit is set. Well, you could possibly do it with some maths, couldn't you, theoretically? Hey, Bampan. Because CRC and 8000 would give you either 0 or 8000.
Oh, welcome back, Bampan. I hope you brought your dancing shoes. Majenko's got some funky tunes playing. And Sir Stew's a lot needs all the encouragement he can get after those farts.
So... if we could have Polly be either 1 or... if we take that and shift it so that it becomes either a 1 or a 0, multiply Polly by no, because we need to have a 1 rather than a 0, don't we? Well, the problem is all you've done is turn the if into a tuple. So you've still got the if, just as the question mark. It does the same thing. And you want it to the power 1, don't you? Not to the power 0. Is it? Or do you want it to the power 0? My maths is failing me at the moment. Isn't anything to the power 0 1? Yeah. You need to the power 1. Oops. Ternary may optimize better. We'll try it. CRC equals CRC to the 1 to the power CRC and oops, question mark poly colon 1. No 1. If you put it to the power 0, that's going to end up as 1. Oh, is it? Oh, of course it is. I'm a muppet. In which case, of course, in that case, you can go CRC 31, isn't it? Times poly. Because if all we care about is the top bit, shift it down to the far end, that sum then becomes either a 1 or a 0. Multiply that by poly, poly becomes either poly or 0. Is my thinking. Because all we want to know is the top bit of the CRC set. Actually, is it? No, 8. Yeah, 8. The top bit of the CRC set or not. And if it is set, we XOR it with poly. If it's not, we leave it alone. So shift it to the right. That becomes a 1 or a 0. Multiply it by poly. You end up either with poly or 0. And there's no if at all, it's just purely maths. I don't know if that's actually correct or not. But if it is, our new speed would be higher. That's actually slower doing that. It's actually slower doing maths than doing an if. Try the ternary for a laugh. Absolutely. So CRC equals CRC left shifted 1 with CRC and OX8 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 question mark poly colon 0. See what it thinks of that. 13.5 to 14 is our target to beat. This track is giving you Question of Sport vibes. Come on, you're going to wake up. Give us the next track. Sea King, come on. Let's restart the Arduino. Now it's not working at all. I could do CRC to XOR minus INT32T, CRC and that, multiplied by poly. I mean, it's just not working at all at the moment. It's not even attempting to step. Something's gone strange. It's not the CRC calculation. It's not even attempting anything at the moment because it's not printing anything. It's not running. It's not pulled out, has it? No. That's all plugged in. Let's reset everything. Reset the Arduino that's sending the pulses. Odd, we're not getting anything. Why not? It must be stuck waiting for a step signal or something, is it? What's the step on here doing, if anything? Let's reset the Arduino. We get one step up and then no response. Something's gone weird. Come on, enumerate the USB, will you please?
Listen up, it's the Topaz in the chats. We got the vibe, burn it up just like that. Come on, Machenko's place.
The Topaz and Moose. Thank you for the 30 bits.
The rhythm run wild.
Could it be pre-computed for all values, then stored in a lookup table? Not really, no. Because it's a 32-bit polynomial, 32-bit CRC, so it's huge.
Oh, welcome back, Dopaz.
I hope you miss me.
Belgium, it's been having a
lot of fun with those semicolons.
He's only farted once, can you believe it?
Majenko.
Corky.
Come on, you stupid pie, what are you doing? When it gets into a state like this, it just refuses to play ball. She's got a huge 32-bit CLCs. Okay. So with that in there,
Oh, sweetie, the ads are on.
Time to look away, darlings. Majenko needs his focus, and so do I.
there we go. Okay, that is up and running, supposedly. Plug in the Arduino, it should start seeking, and things should start going slower. There we go. We got some, there we go. 45 tracks per second, 14. That's no different with the ternary in there. Okay, let's try option number, lost count of where we are now. CRC equals CRC, left shift 1.
Suffered through those ads.
To the power, well not to the power, XOR minus INT32T, CRC and that big number, and poly. There's one more optimization that I want to do, which is the main outer loop, which is a double nested loop, which is not efficient. That's unmounted. Oh, I need to stop that, because that's going to be crashing it at the moment. I think my hub is not happy. Because it's not powered hub, and it should be powered really. Oh, it's just turned itself off. Yeah, this unpowered hub's not necessarily happy at running the RTmFM all by itself. Let's give it some external power, shall we? See what that does. Externally powering the RTmFM, and it's still not happy. It's refusing to identify it on the bus. No. It's not too happy, that. maybe I should see about powering this hub. Which means trying to find a power supply. Which is going to be fun. They're all in a box buried down here. A heavy box full of power supplies. I need a 5-volt power supply. With the right tiny little power connector. Is that the right size or is that too small? Too small, thought it would be. Too small? How can it be too small? Is that the right size? That's the right size, but what voltage is this? I'll bet it's something strange. $12 volts. Oh no, that doesn't want to be 12 volts. It needs to be 5 volts, but it's the right size plug. So I could butcher it at least. Ooh, what's this one? It's another 12 volts one with what looks to be the right size plug.
Majenko, I think you should check your microphone. It seems to have died.
That should be working again. Silly microphones. Right. Yep, it's back. Good. Trying to find a 5-volt power supply with a little barrel jack. Who's nicked me? Fucking power supply. I don't even know if I've got one of the right type. All the ones that I thought I had turned out to be even smaller connector than I was expecting. I've got these tiny, tiny little barrel jack ones, which are all 5 volts, I think, but the barrel jack is too small. 5 volts, 1 amp, yeah. I can show on, but I don't really want to if I can help it. Or I can just not use this hub, because it's crap. That might be a better option. See if I can find a better hub. Can't get into my cupboard now because I've moved everything, haven't I? Right. Now I've got that sort, which has got a SATA power connector on it. That's a switch, not a hub.
I do apologise, I'm an idiot.
Who's an idiot? There are table-based implementations. Need to think through. I've seen them for I've seen them for 16-bit, but not for 32-bit. A byte-at-a-byte implementation using a 256 entry table.
Ben's CRC journey has been quite the roller coaster, from poopering Jeeping's idea to full-blown Wikipedia dive. Someone get him a kebab stand.
Majen Koroki dance.
That's modifying the CRC table though, isn't it? Or is that, that's initializing the CRC table? Oh, right, yeah. Then when we do the calculation, we are shift the CRC 32-8 and then XOR it with the lowest 8 bits of the CRC 32. Oh, right. That could be faster. We shall experiment with that one next. Good find there, Ben. Kiddo collecting time. Go and collect the kiddos. Right, there's one that's got a cable on it, and it's SATA power on that, so I could potentially power that on my test bench. Give that one a go, see what it does. I've got this hub, which has a nice long cable on it that I created myself. It's a 7-port, which means it's two 4-ports chained together, because there's no such thing as a 7-port hub. But it does have SATA for the power. So we can try it. I'll plug this in to the front of my computer. I shall grab SATA power from my test bench, and it's found a 7-port hub apparently. I didn't think there was such a thing as a 7-port hub. We'll turn on the test bench. I'll unplug the crappy other hub. Now we shall plug this into here. And we get nothing. Oh, Minicom's decided to completely die. Right. I am seeing nothing on this hub. Seeing a 7-port hub, but not seeing anything on it. Right, that's the fault of the Pi. Just generally not being happy. Okay, we've got an ACM 0 now. Right, so that's running. This is currently using the INT32 negative calculation, I believe. Where's the USB cable for the Arduino? There it is. Plug the Arduino in and we'll get some pulses going, hopefully. Whoa. That's fast. 85 tracks per second.
Wait, am I an idiot? Oh, I'm an idiot.
You can't see, can you? Let's get the right one. There we go. Look at that speed. That one is winning at the moment. I don't know if it's correct, but it's winning. That one is the -INT32 of the CRC and 8000 and the Poly. Kill the scope. Good idea. I always forget that. So the next one to try, actually what I should do is, that's basically 389, isn't it? 3489 microseconds is the current winner. Okay, so now let's have a look at the possibility of, oops, oh, I can't copy and paste between, can I? Okay, so static uint 32t CRC table 256 static void CRC 32 init CRC 32 equals 1. For uint 8 uint 32t I equals 128 I left shifted right shifted 1 CRC 32 equals CRC 32 shifted 1 XOR CRC 32 and 1 question mark. Now I assume this is the polynomial that we want in here. Colon 0 for uint 32 t j equals 0 j less than 256 j plus equals 2 times I CRC table I plus j equals CRC 32 XOR CRC table j apparently. Okay. So now in the CRC 32 here, if CRC table 255 is 0, CRC 32 init poly. CRC
Others are starting.
How dreadful.
X or equals
Probably off cooking something delicious
Val.
to distract himself.
Let's hope they're short.
CRC 32 equals CRC 32 shifted 8 XOR CRC table CRC. It's not CRC 32, it's just CRC. And FF. All that lot gets ignored. So see if that compiles.
Oh, you guys suffered through those ads.
You're so sweet.
It's my pleasure to be here, even if it means enduring those things.
It's my inner loop
Much more appealing.
in
right
the
now.
init
He's
routine.
farted twice, you know.
J was not declared, yeah.
A lot.
That's wrong. Well spotted. Be a J, not an I. Well, it compiles. We'll see what it gives us. Okay, kick off the Arduino. Four, 8. That's actually slower. Doing a lookup is actually slower. Doing a lookup is slower, plus it would need adapting. So at the moment, if it works, if it's giving the right results, I don't know if it is or not, this one is by far the fastest. Now, what I also want to do is here, I don't like this double loop. That's pretty much what we had with the init. It's pretty much the same. Just doing a bit of shifting, XORing, and a bit of other shifting, and a lookup, yeah. It's this link that Ben found. It's pretty much the same thing. Pre-calculate a table, and then do a bit of shifting and looking up. So it's the number of sectors is So I want 4 INT sec no equals 0, sec no equals sec no is less than.
And Genotech is back. Finally someone who appreciates my brilliance. Valdemit's been having a bit of a time with the CRC 32, but he's always so sweet when he's
Heads
wrong.
times sectors, sec no plus
Let's
plus.
hope he docents need to fart more.
Lover's Stripes is quite lovely, isn't it?
Majenkoroki dance.
Calculate sector. Now this is different now, isn't it? So I need to know the head and sector, don't I? To put it into the table. No, I can't really change that, unfortunately. Or not easily at the moment. Yeah, it seems odd that it's slower to me as well. But what we're doing at the moment is highly optimized. Because we're pre-calculating. Actually, what I should do is call that. Make sure it doesn't ever get called from here. I want to go when I'm mounting.
Oh, hello again, the Industrious, and so glad you're back. I hope you brought your A game.
Hey, Industrious.
Valdemit's been having a lot of trouble with his code, poor dear. He's only fatted twice though, so that's a win.
Majenkoroki dance.
The function call per byte might kill it. Except it should be inlined. So it shouldn't be doing a function call. But we can cut it out completely. Although it's, yeah, because it needs to be in a function really because it calls it 3 times within here. Because it's not just calculating it on the loop; it's also got the header bytes as well. But it shouldn't be too bad actually. If I go hash define C32. CRC val CRC or equals val CRC equals CRC shifted 8, although this is wrong for my CRCs, but whatever, just for timing things. CRC table CRC and FF. So I want CRC OX. So the CRC is CRC, comma OXA1. CRC. C32, idiot. CRC, OXFB. Okay, so that is now guaranteed 100% inlined. Copy my pointer declaration as well. Oh yes, that, thanks. Let's see if we can beat 3489. Nope. You can ignore the first one, that's never calculates right. I think part of the problem is also as I said, memory access is sometimes slower on ARM cores, but part of the problem is related to that is memory contention. Because I've got one core trying to do this. I've got one core reading the memory for the next sector to output. And I've got DMA reading the memory to output the data. So I've got three things all trying to read the memory at the same time. If I could lock, or if I could have exclusive access to a chunk of memory that's not being interfered with by the other cores and things, then it would speed up. I don't quite know how it synchronizes between all the different things, but it does something. If I don't launch the second CPU core, yeah, it's not going to stay in cache. That's definite. If I don't launch the second CPU core, does it speed up? And is it even going to work without the second CPU core running? Should do. Just won't be outputting anything. Is it going to work? Yeah, there we go. Not really that much difference. So no, it is just slow reading the memory. But I'm getting every single track coming out now, pretty much by the looks of things. So no, it doesn't really make that much difference. Let's see if I can force it to be always inlined. It doesn't like attribute always inline. What's the attribute to force inlining? It's it should be. That should be correct, unless it's doesn't want to be there. Maybe it wants to be in here. If you won't do what you tell me. If you won't do what you tell me. Just needed to be it before the function, not after it. So that should now be 100% guaranteed to maybe 50% of the time be inlined. Oops. That's not going to work very well, is it? Let's restart that. Okay, then start the Arduino. It does not like the Arduino running while it reboots, because it's then tries to seek on a disk that doesn't exist at the moment. I've got no checks for that at the moment. But those will come. Hammer against the machine. Yeah. Hey, Silver Lad. ARM has a CRC, well, this ARM doesn't have, as far as I know, a CRC instruction, but the DMA engine has the ability to calculate a CRC on the fly, but for a fixed polynomial, which is different.
I hope you miss me.
To the polynomial used on hard drives.
Music, Glory be by Patricios. It's tolerable.
I think this is as fast as we're going to go. We're the CRC calculation now is dwarfed by the SD card reading. We're under half the time that it takes to read the SD card. Which, considering when we started this out, we were running at 2.5 tracks per second. Now we're running at 83 tracks per second. I think we can call this good for the time being. This is considerably faster than it was. "40-fold increase. Boring! We need 400-fold. Well, 30 to 40, yeah. Anyway, it's gone 10 o'clock now. I should be finishing off. I keep overrunning. I keep getting stuck into things and overrunning. You must not let me do that. You must tell me when it's 10 o'clock and say, "Oi, sign off." But we are considerably faster than we were, which is nice. Right, I need now, well, not now, but next stream, to hook up the logic analyzer and look to see whether I was that deep into something, I'll just ignore you, yeah. Whether the output of this is now correct or not, whether it's actually sending out the proper CRC data, if it's actually calculating it right. Great results indeed. Why, thank you. I think this is an achievement. Gotta go faster. Hedgehog variable, yes. It would be nice to get it down even faster. But I think the main speed increase we could get now would be as if the reading could be faster, but we're already maxing that out, I think. It's 8 to 9 milliseconds for 128k of data. Yeah, Hedgehog cannot be buggered at all, yeah. Ah.
Oh, sweetie, the ads are on. Time to look.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get the reading any faster.
Sir Stuzelot, darling, you deserve a distraction from all that nonsense.
Unless we could find some method of storing the data not on the SD card, but on something that's a lot faster access. Yes, it's using the 4-bit wide SDIO interface through PIO. So it's going as fast as it can, really.
Lately, and seems to be trying to argue with the compiler. Someone needs.
I have no more pins available, really, on the chip. So I can't connect up a nice big fast SD RAM. Otherwise I'd consider a nice fat SD RAM, parallel SD RAM, but no, that's not going to work. No pins for it. I need a much bigger chip for that. So I think this is probably as fast as we're going to. It's a tolerable speed. I don't think you would really notice that much speed difference between this and a real hard drive.
You deserve a treat.
So I say next stream we will look at the data and see if the CRC is being calculated right. If it is, we shall rejoice. If it isn't, we shall debug. Either way, we'll have fun. Right. Time for me to finish. God, it goes on a bit, doesn't it, this applause? Thank you very much for the applause. Right, yes, I am back on Thursday for some more RTmFM. Not half as long as this fart goes on for. You've got to get your farts in before the end, haven't you, Ben? Can't let Chloe have the title this week. Thanks for the stream and pulling out the RTmFM again. Absolutely. It's been on the cards for a while. Do we get a weekly leaderboard now? Oh, there's an idea. I think I would have to publish that on the web, though. Right. Where was I? Yes, I'm back on Thursday for some more work on this. Ben, you're with us tomorrow, I believe, for some more Lego fun. How many bags this week? 3 more bags, is it? Warp nacelles, I think you said you're going to do. Which would be fun to watch. Thursday at the Machenko Dome! 3 this week if you can. Excellent. Be nice to see those warp nacelles take shape. But for now, here comes my outro. And I'll see if I can come up with something to say. So many bags! Thank you all for joining me this evening. This has been a very productive stream, actually. Much more productive than I was expecting. We got this going considerably faster, to a tolerable speed now. A speed that's not embarrassing. So next is check that CRC, make sure it is correct. And then maybe look at the possibility of hooking it up to a real computer. It would be nice to be faster, but I don't think we'll go faster. We're not that much different to a real hard drive as it is. I'll have to look up what the seek time is on a RD54 or it's actually the RD51 that I really want to emulate, which is a smaller drive. So it should actually operate a bit quicker because there's less data. So yeah, we'll carry on with that on Thursday. Be sure to join Ben on tomorrow evening from about 9:30 for warp nacelles in Lego. And have a good week other than that, and I'll see you on Thursday.
Alright, here's an outro message tailored to your specifications. Prepare for maximum appreciation. Alright everyone, that's a wrap on the RTmFM MFM Emulator stream. Huge thanks to everyone who tuned in and made it so much fun. Seriously, you guys are the best. A massive thank you to MB 60893, GoGo Gadget 360, Luisoft 10, PC Margers, Carrot House 82, keep those retro recall videos coming, Mojenko Tech, Jeepin 247, RF Programmer, enjoy your Bavarian folk music.
Daft Punkle's Silgalad, D-Dop has created, Matt Inks, Tyler Hoot, Lice Faded, Chloe Raccoon, The Industrious, and Baljamet 3 Farts is A.
Record Ben, SVK28, Bampam, Swarm of Dead Insects, Hot Rocks Girl, Mojenko Bot, that's me. And Stream Elements for being here. Special shout out to any new subscribers, raiders, and followers. Welcome to the Mojenko family. We're so glad you joined us.
Thanks for the laughs, the insightful comments, and the overall good vibes.
Until next time,
Mojenko.
RD51 is 85 milliseconds. Holy cow. We're going much faster then. I like it. What about the RD54? Because that uses a voice coil as opposed to stepper motor. Yeah, I thought it might be a lot faster. So we are about a third, aren't we then? A third of the speed of an RD54, but considerably faster than the RD51, which is my primary target.
What the hell are you doing here?